Hey, what's up guys? Jacoby from JacobysJourneys.com, and we're about to take a tour of one of the most energy efficient homes in the world. Hi Tom.
Hi Jacoby.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
I'm glad you made it. Welcome to the house. It's an extremely energy efficient house. You can see very, very thick walls. The walls are 28 inches thick, so an incredible layer of insulation, and it's full of insulation. So that's one of the features that's making this house extremely energy efficient. The other one that I mentioned already is that it's an extremely airtight construction, the most airtight residential building in the world. So that's what's contributing to the efficiency of this home.
Well, Tom focused on the outside and the construction of the house. I mainly spent my time with the details on the inside finishes and some special features we did in this home that are green. The countertops and the window sills and the shower surround are all recycled glass. So we have the brown is beer bottles, and the silver is mirrors, and the white is porcelain from like toilets or sinks. And all of our appliances are Energy Star rated. Our linear compressor on our refrigerator, so it doesn't like cycle, make loud sounds. And our washer and dryer upstairs are really energy efficient as well. Cabinets and flooring is the same company. It's all sustainable bamboo, so it takes 5 years to grow, so you're not cutting down a forest. So we really like that aspect. Okay, so here is supposed to be our daughter Denali's room, but it's right now her playroom. With all things small, the rooms are like multi-purpose. So in the daytime it's a playroom or a living room, but in the nighttime we can roll up this rug here, and then all these doors sort of partition it off, so it can be a separate room. But we rarely do that unless we have like guests over or something, just keep it open.
Yeah, that's really cool design.
I call this the box in a box technique. So it's a bigger outside box and then a smaller box built inside that. So basically a house in a house. And that leaves the cavity between those two houses that's filled, in our case, with cellulose insulation, a very environment friendly type of insulation made from recycled paper.
So this is our loft bedroom, and it's a multi-purpose room again, following the theme of our house. So we have our washer and dryer up here because most of our linens stay upstairs. And we just like the nice open feel. We had the choice to fill in the whole second story of our house, but we chose to keep it open so it gets a bigger feeling even though it's quite a small house. And you can see what's going on downstairs while we're upstairs. So we really like that communal feel.
Like I mentioned, these are super efficient windows, high performance windows, and this is what we call a tilt and turn style. So we can either tilt it for ventilation just like that, or we can turn it. And a part of what's making the windows very efficient is that it has locking places around the perimeter of the window, and as we are closing the window, it's sucking it through those locking places onto the seal. So a very tight window.
Go fast. Rising that.
So this is an entirely electric home. There is no wood pile, no oil tank, no propane tank. It's entirely electric. The way we are heating the house is with an air source heat pump. It's a cold climate heat pump. And what it does, it's taking the heat from the outside and putting it into the house. So it's an air conditioner running backwards. It works down to minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So at minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit, we are still taking the heat from the outside air and putting it into the house. Works just like a refrigerator. So that's the internal unit of the heat pump. We saw the outside unit when we were outside. And that's what's heating our house in winter.
And that's sufficient enough to do the entire home.
Oh, it's way oversized for this home. Just to put into perspective, the design heating load and the design temperature in Dillingham is minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit, and the design heating load for this house is about 1.4 kW, which is less than a hair dryer. So a hair dryer would be an oversized heat source for this house. This house is so super efficient that the majority of the heat that we need comes from internal heat gains, which means body heat and the byproduct heat from lighting appliances and the passive solar gain, so the sunshine that comes to the windows. And as shown on this graph, so these internal heat gains provide about 3/4 of the heat that we need on an annual basis. So about 3/4 of our heat is basically free heat. But often people ask, so how much money are you saving thanks to this super efficient home? And so I put into a table here, compared our house to an average house in Dillingham. The main point is that an average house in Dillingham uses about 700 gallons of heating oil annually. Our house uses no heating oil at all, 0. It's an entirely electric home. So when you add it all up, a normal house using about $5,000 annually in energy, while our house is less than $1,000. So many thousands of dollars savings annually thanks to the energy efficient features of this house. So this is the heat recovery ventilator and HRE. So that takes the cold fresh air from the outside, it comes here through this duct and goes through the HRE, and then it's supplied up into the loft. And at the same time, it's taking out the warm stale air from the inside, going through the HRE and exhausting to the outside. And there's a heat exchanger in the HRE, and in the heat exchanger, as this warm stale air is going out, it's transferring heat into the fresh cold air that is coming in. So what we are exhausting is cold because we recovered the heat from that, and what we are supplying to the house is warm because that's where we transfer the heat. So we have plenty of fresh air without significant heat loss. This is a heat pump water heater. What it does, it's taking the heat from the inside of the house and putting it into water to make hot water. And as I explained before, we have a lot of internal heat gains, so that's the body heat and byproduct heat from lighting appliances and passive solar gain for a long period of time, a big portion of the year. We are having more internal heat gains than we need, and we can take the extra internal heat gains and put them into water to make hot water. So right now your body heat is actually helping us make our hot water. So thank you for coming.